and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Well, the three blind mice have been at it again. They've challenged the diecast building community to another build-off. Well, today we're going to be doing a 1964 Nova station wagon. Now, when I first got this one, I says, well, you know, I really don't know what to do. But the ideas started to flow as I started taking the car apart. So let's get started. Here I've got the car already drilled apart and got the holes drilled for the post. We don't really need to do an evaluation here, but we still need to look at what we have to work with. Here's the base. It's got real rider tires, which are really cool. So I think I'm going to leave these alone. I like the way they look, and they're nice and low, and it's in really, really sweet shape. Here's the interior. Your glass, which obviously is in good shape, and the body. Well, we definitely got to get rid of that X-Men paint job on the side, so let's go ahead and throw this in the stripper and we'll get started. Here we've got our citrus strip. Gonna dump that in the goo. Make sure you coat the outside completely and then flip it over and get the inside also. Now with the citrus strip or any other stripper, you can use it several times. So get a bunch into some kind of a container and throw it in there, and you can see all the paint chips and paint blobs and everything from prior stripping down. I got an idea here. I'm going to take the Chevy emblem. I printed out several of them in case I screw up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this Chevy emblem on the roof of the car. Now we'll go ahead and we'll get that all trimmed down, and then I'm going to use that Chevy emblem and I'm going to draw around it. I went ahead and I put the Chevy emblem where I wanted it. I'm going to draw around it with a permanent marker. Just trace around the outside of it. You can use a marker, you can use a pencil, whatever. Doesn't matter because we're going to be doing some drilling and cutting. Simple enough. Let's go ahead and finish drawing this out so we can see what we're doing. Now, we're going to cut out that Chevy emblem in the car. Now, what I do here is I drill out as much of the inside as I possibly can, because that's less area that you're going to have to file. So get it drilled out as much as you possibly can. Just like this. Now I took a pair of snips and I cut out what I could with the snips. And then I filed it all down. And this is what I got. Now I did wind up going back in and touching it up a little bit because it's a little bit off, but it turned out really, really well. There we go. Then I cleaned it up with some sandpaper and a Scotch-Brite pad. And since I'm going to be painting the background on this opaque black or gloss black, I didn't have to worry about getting in there and doing a lot of polishing and everything. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell to be advised of any future videos that come out. Same procedure as any other kind when you're painting these cars. Start off with a mist coat. Let it set for a few minutes to tack up, and then come back in and start giving it more coats of paint. You want a real nice gloss base coat here. I got other cars I'm painting, so I'll just let that sit to the side. Now we'll come back in and we'll put a little bit heavier coats on there. A little bit more heavier coats. Just don't saturate it. If you build it up too much, it'll start to run, and you'll wind up having to strip it all down and do it all over again. That's starting to look really, really nice. Make sure you follow the manufacturer's specifications exactly when it comes to mixing the paint. I use approximately 20 to 25 pounds of pressure when I'm spraying with my airbrush, and that gives me the finish that I like. Looking good. Now that we got the gloss base coat, we're going to go ahead and spray it with this purple holographic metal flake. Now the airbrush has a hard time handling the metal flake, so you have to have an airbrush that will allow you to do that. You're going to mix that metal flake and a nice clear base, and then go ahead and spray your car. Now, like I said, you've got to have a good airbrush in order to do this. The standard needle in the airbrush won't work, so you got to have something where you can replace the needle with a bigger needle that will allow you to spray more volume. Just keep on spraying. Don't get it too saturated wet. Let it dry in a little bit here and there. And don't get too close. Put on as much metallic as you absolutely want and get that nice finish that you're looking for. Now again, be careful with this because you can put too much on there. And then when this is dried and done, you're going to go back in with a nice clear coat, and we're going to spray it with a clear coat to smooth it out and protect it. Man, that metal flake looks good. Kind of looks like a black cherry. But man, is that pretty. Beautiful, beautiful metal flake. I'll be doing some more paint jobs here with the metal flake, and I'll also be going into the details on how I spray the metal flake and the base that I use, etc., etc. Nice stuff. Here's what we started with. This base Nova with the Real Rider tires and the metal body, or the metal base. That was really cool. It's a really nice base car to start with if you want to do any customs or anything like that. And you'll have a lot of fun doing this, I promise. And here's what we ended up with. I cut a hole in the hood, put an engine in there to make it look really cool. We got this holographic metal, purple metal flake. I mean, this paint is absolutely phenomenal. I can't even imagine if you had a full-size car painted with this. This thing is really, really nice. Now, the size of the flake I used in this was .004. I believe that's the smallest size of flake that you can get to spray. They come in other sizes, 008, 015, etc. You're going to use the small metal flake if you're using an airbrush here. But this thing turned out fantastic for a beautiful custom. Don't forget to go into all the other Three Blind Mice build-off folks and look at their videos, and you'll have a good time, I promise, because everybody is starting with this base car, and I can't wait to see what the other folks came up with also. Had a lot of fun with this. Thanks again for watching my build. My name is Paul with Diecast Graveyard. We got a lot of other build-offs coming up. We've got the subscriber build-off challenge coming up, which I hope you join in on. Got a lot of good prizes there. Thanks again, and we'll see you down the road.